If I was to ask you what the most corrupt and most cartoonishly evil industry is in America, there's only one right answer. That is the music industry. Even not talking about the blatant abuse artists face in the industry as well as shady business practices and the constant exploitation of their artists, they are the only industry I can think of that constantly attacks the public directly. They're less of a music industry and more of a private military group that also owns music. They're doing everything they can to wage war on the public. Over the last 20 years, they've come up with some of the most barbaric, archaic, and just brutally out of touch and dangerous laws to try and protect their copyrighted dog shit. And just this week, they've come up with a new wacky little humdinger where their political puppet, Tom Tillis, is trying to pass a law that he snuck into a bigger bill that would state a DMCA strike could carry jail time and a felony charge. So Twitch streamers, YouTube, Instagram, and probably TikTok, I would imagine it'll eventually extend to, if you played copyrighted material, even snippets, and by accident, you run the risk of a felony charge and potential jail time for it. Now, Tom Tillis is a U.S. political senator who is in the pocket of the music industry. I checked out his donor list, and he's actually a really cheap prostitute. Like, this guy is giving away his services for fucking cheap. This man's selling his soul for popsicle sticks. He's getting $2,000 from some of these musical organizations, but of course, Tom Tillis, being the human hemorrhoid that he is, who probably fishes for used needles out of the dumpster, he's also getting money off the books, I would imagine. But on the books, he's getting $2,000 from some of these musical organizations. In total, he's gotten about $100,000 from the entire music industry on the books. Tom, if that's the price of your soul, I will form a PAC with a few of my friends and we will beat that price. If it's $100,000 to make you be our little marionette on the strings, we can negotiate and give you a better price for your services. So just hit me up, Tom, because we can beat that price and then you can dance for us. But until then, Tom Tillis has tried to sneak this law in here, and you can read the whole law that states DMCA strikes can carry a felony charge and jail time. And again, even if it's a total accident, it doesn't even state how much of it needs to be broadcast or anything. It's just the fact that if copyright material shows up on your stream or a content creator's content, you could face a felony or jail time. Currently, a DMCA strike at absolute worst is a misdemeanor, but that's not severe enough for the music industry. What they'd like is to take anyone that infringes on their copyright and execute them, make it a capital offense, put them in front of a fucking firing squad. They probably wouldn't care if you were 6 years old. If you heard a song that you didn't pay for, or even worse, accidentally had it playing in the background of a video, they'd probably just beat you to death with a baseball bat if it was up to the music industry. But up until now, the music industry couldn't fully fuck people in the mouth, so they turned to that annoying little pinworm in their asshole, Tom Tillis. Tom Tillis, being the little pinworm that's swimming in their colon hoping to catch some of the money that they shit out, decides to try and sneak this into this upcoming bill, and it's getting voted on in 2 days. So this is actually urgent. I didn't realize how urgent it was. I really figured that this would wither and die at some point in the pipeline, but they're trying their absolute best to just like smack this bad boy on the ass right through the Congress as quickly as possible. A YouTuber named CharmX made me aware of just how soon it is coming up. I hate asking for trending hashtags, but at this point I don't know what other options we have since it's coming up so close and they're really trying to fucking speedrun corruption here with this bill. So I'd say start making a noise using hashtag StopDMCA. It's something quick and it's something simple to the point. Hopefully, if we can make enough noise with that trending hashtag StopDMCA, we can at least make people more aware of what's going on, and hopefully at some point someone sees that and it's like, holy shit, this is actually in this law. Man, we usually just close our eyes and say yes to whatever comes on the table. Wait, well, let's take a look at this one. This is bad. It's wishful thinking and a bit naive, but with so little time to actually do something about it, since they're just pushing this shit through at light speed, it's the only option I think that's available. So feel free to use hashtag StopDMCA if you want to have your voice hopefully be heard and hopefully change this ridiculous idea here. Now, at first I wasn't as concerned about it. I kind of laughed at the law because I just didn't think it was possible to pass. But since it does seem like it's going in that direction, I watched a lawyer on YouTube talk about it, thinking like, okay, maybe I misunderstood. Maybe it's actually not as bad as everyone's making it seem. Even after reading it, I didn't really see any way that it wasn't as bad as everyone made it seem, but I'm not a lawyer. So I listened to this video from a guy who is a lawyer, and he talks about it and how concerned he is about the law and how mad he is about it. So it really is as bad as people have hyped it up to be, But for some reason, this one's not talked about that much, even though this is like the most devastating one. This would quite literally kill Twitch in particular. For example, Cyberpunk 2077, even when you turn off the copyrighted music function, which is still insane that we're at this point in time where you just have to disable music when you stream in video games, but even when you turn that feature off, there are still a few songs in the game that are possible DMCA strikes on your channel. So even if you take every possible precaution when playing just a video game, you can still be hit with a DMCA strike, which, going into 2021, if this gets passed, could land you in jail. You could go to jail for playing Cyberpunk 2077 even on the streamer mode with copyrighted music turned off just because of an oversight where a few songs are still DMCA-able. That is absolutely scary. That's terrifying. And again, I can't even believe we're at this point where if you're playing something, you have to turn off music for it. Fucking crazy. So I urge any of you that watch internet content, or God forbid make it at this point, to take this seriously. The reason why I'm talking about it so late is because I figured at some point down the pipeline common sense would kick in and realize this is an unenforceable law and would lead to millions of people in jail. Donald fucking Trump had a DMCA strike on the official White House channel. Is there statute of limitations on this? Because wouldn't he also be facing a felony charge for that now? Because this is outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. The copyrighted material sometimes just pops up places. It's not like an actual malicious intent to capitalize off other people's work. It's oftentimes just in such a gray area you don't even know what you can and can't do half the time. And then when it comes to streams, sometimes people will donate a song to you that just automatically plays, could be copyrighted, and then you go to jail because someone fucking played a prank on you or something. It is so outlandish that this is even being considered by the fucking ancient fossils in Congress. It is so silly that the people that make these laws are like 98 years old that don't even use the internet and are afraid of email because they're worried that their fucking digital alarm clock's gonna hack them and rewire their brains during their sleep or something. It's just so fucked up. It's the dumbest goddamn law I've seen. It's like if the war on drugs did meth and then came up with this piece of shit to attack an invisible enemy audio wave villain. It's so silly. It is so incredibly silly. So again, hashtag stop DMCA. Hopefully we can do something so it doesn't pass. If it does pass, I don't even know how the fuck they enforce it. Again, I don't know how they'll do that, because even just playing a video game that you own puts you at risk for a DMCA strike. Like if you take a video on your phone of a cool play you made in a video game, there's a chance to just get DMCA struck for it because there might be a song playing in the background of it. That's so absurd. Absolutely crazy. The greed of the music industry never ceases to amaze me. That's it. See ya.